with breath. So going to invite you to find your seat and scoot forward a little bit on the chair so the spine is nice and vertical. And tenderly bring your attention to your breath. Let the jaw be soft and notice the breath as it moves in and out of the body. Gently begin to deepen the breath. Imagining or sensing the breath as it moves into the feet. Perhaps feeling a little lifting of the arches of the feet. Sensing or imagining, both powerful tools. And as we breathe, we're going to begin to bring our spinal column into the breath. So when breathing out, the chin tucks in just a little, our eyes look down. And as we breathe in, there's a gentle lift. The head doesn't need to travel too far, but we're following the breath and we're noticing how as we breathe and move our head, there's a gentle rocking that may be taking place in the pelvis, in our sit upon. Noticing that as we lift our spine, as we lift our head, there's a little arch in the low back. If you come up, chin is lifted. We're keeping the head from straining or craning, but we're pausing here and breathing as we feel our way into the low back. There's a nice curve in the low back. This is a cat arch, or cow, excuse me, this is the cow posture. We're going to bring the chin down toward the chest now. This is an out breath. And we come forward, the shoulders slide forward a little bit. And the upper part of the back now curves out like an arch in a cat. And we're going to pause here and really limit the pressing into the knees with the hands. Maybe just gently move one shoulder forward while keeping the cat arch. Move the other shoulder forward. Notice, just notice how the head moves. When we move our spine, we're connecting all of our body. We're feeling our way into the whole body. Notice how the feet cooperate with this action. And then we're going to slowly allow ourselves to return to our breath. We're going to take that right foot and we're going to cross it over the left ankle. Now we're going to do a little gliding. So we stay in the center and then we move to the right and back to center, to the right and back to center. So now we're working in the hip joint, gliding, just a gentle glide. So often we feel the up and down motion of the hip, but the hip also goes to the side a little bit. So we're lubricating the hip joint for what's to come. We're going to pause, unwrap the feet, and now the left ankle goes over the right, and we're going to glide a little bit to the left. Excuse me, the left ankle over the right. Yeah, gliding to the left. So this may be familiar for those of you who've done somatic yoga. We do this on the floor with our knees crossed, draped together. We'll visit that on Monday. And then we pause, unwrap the legs, extend now, reach, and allow the body to come forward. Out breath. The in breath, the arms rise and we extend. And the out breath, we fold forward. And the in breath, we rise and we extend. And then we release and we come back. We're going to bring our attention now, once again, to the right leg. And we're going to bring that ankle and rest it on top of the thigh. If that's a challenge, you can always go back to the crossed ankle. We're coming up into a figure 4. When we get here, we flex that foot. So the toes come back toward the knee and we pause here. This may be enough just to get here and hold this posture. If you'd like a little more, begin gently and slowly coming forward. So we're bringing the heart toward the calf. Remember, in this practice, there's no strain. So pause when you feel the tightening and allow the body to soften. Notice whether the breath is still moving, and if not, maybe you'll want to breathe a little more. And I also notice sometimes when I start leaning forward, I release the flexion in my foot. So the invitation is to keep that flexion. Waking up in the hip joint is very, very helpful for all mobility. So when we come back up, we're going to unwrap the legs and we pause and we notice the right and the left side of our body. We notice if there's any difference in how we're seated in the sensation. Breathe here. And now we're taking it to the other side. So that left ankle is going to come up and rest on the right. On top of the thigh, we flex the foot. Maybe there's a little pressure. You can take that arm and press a little bit into the thigh, should that feel helpful. And then maybe begin a slow hinge forward, pausing when the tightening begins. And notice, wow, on the right side, I had a little more forward motion immediately. This side feels a little different. It's not that we want everything to be exactly the same. However, what we bring our attention to will be changed by the very fact that we're looking at it. Breathing and hinging just a little more if you're doing that. And if your ankles are crossed, you could be hinging forward with ankles crossed also. And then we're going to come back up and we're going to unwrap our legs. And we're going to scoot forward again, just a little bit more on the edge of the chair. And we're going to extend Breathe in big, and on the out breath, relax down. Breathe in and release. And breathe in and come back to center. Pause here. Breathing. For the next practice, we're going to use cactus arms. Cactus arms look like this. So we're going to use cactus arms and then extend. So we'll practice that a couple times. Cactus and extend. Cactus and extend. Ooh, is that space between the shoulder blades tight? Ooh, draw the shoulder blades together when you go back to cactus then. Then we pause. We're going to be turning to the right side to begin with. So come with me. We're on the edge of the chair. We're going to have that foot in front, and we're going to extend the left leg back. So you can extend as far as you'd like, as feels good. Maybe it's going to be a shallower extension. We're going to be lifting the back leg and then bending the knee. So if you have a shorter stance, the lift is going to be smaller. If you have a longer stance, it might be more visible. Doesn't matter. You're doing what works for you. We're going to put the arms with this. So I'm on the ball mound of the back foot, my toes, I'm standing up on my toes. We're going to come to start with a bent knee and cactus arms. And then we're going to extend through the back leg and reach through the arms. Breathing in and out. In and out. And of course, if you get to a point in the posture where it would feel really good to pause and hold that, but not your breath. Keep the breath moving. One more time in extension. And then we come back to center. Now we're going to turn a little bit toward the back of the chair. So maybe we bring our hands to the outside of the right thigh and turn, or maybe we hold the back of the chair and turn a little bit more. Keep that back leg lifted if you can. The back of the knee lifted to the sky. And then gently bend the back leg. Walk yourself back to center. And then notice the left and the right side. Feeling a little lopsided maybe? Let's try the other side. So we're on the edge of the chair. We have that foot in front. Make sure you can always see your toes when you're looking down in Warrior One. We're taking that back leg to a place that's comfortable. Maybe it's a full extension, maybe it's a shorter one. Depends on the hip flexor, right? Depends on the psoas, how comfortable it is. So we start with bent knee and cactus arms. This is an in breath. And then we extend and reach. That's the out breath. Come back to center on an in breath. And extend on the out breath. We're moving that back leg. The arms are getting us ready to go vertical into a warrior one posture. One more reach. Then we come back to neutral. We're going to come to the outer edge, either of the thigh or the back of the chair. Really, it depends on your spine, and because it's going to deepen the stretch into that hip flexor, into the psoas. We're breathing here. And then to return to center, bend that back knee, walk the right leg forward, scoot the feet around. Pause and breathe here. And then we're going to bring ourselves to standing. So come on up. And we come to mountain, Tadasana. Let the heart be lifted and the feet grounded. So let's take the practice we just did on the chair into a standing practice. Depending on how your balance is, we're going to be doing cactus arms to extension, and the extension can be shoulder height or bracketing the head, any point in between. If that doesn't feel good, hold the waist, okay? So you can have a chair nearby for balance to touch down should you feel the need. We're going to start. We're facing to the right side, or maybe you're facing me. I'm facing to the right side. We're going to be working the left leg. So we're going to step forward with the right foot, gently bend the knee, then scooch the left foot back to a point that is comfortable. It's going to be a deep stretch here. Make sure you can see your toes, and notice the kneecap. We want it aimed at the second and third toes. So we're coming to those cactus arms now. Bend the back knee, and then straighten and reach. Bend and straighten and reach. Bend. See if you can keep that front knee stable. Bend and reach. We're going to come out of this by gently straightening the front knee, turning the feet parallel, hinge forward. Slide the hands down the legs or bring the hands under the shoulders to the floor. You can hold on to your legs or touch the floor. Allow your body to soften here. This is a nice counter stretch for all that asymmetrical work we've been doing. To rise out of this, gently bend the knees, bring the hands to the top of the thighs and come back up. We're going to turn that left foot out now. Come onto the ball mound of the right foot in the back. Find your balance as needed, supported by the chair if that's what feels good. Coming to cactus, we bend the back leg and we bend the arms. And then on the out breath, we're going to reach. Keep that breath moving. One more time in each direction. Keep that front knee stable. Hands come to the waist. Straighten both legs. Toes turn forward. Hinge. Hands can stay on the waist. Hands can slide down the legs any amount. Come underneath the shoulders. And then we're going to come back up, hinge up. Gently scoot or hop the feet together. Coming back to our mountain. And as we pause in mountain, we notice the weightedness of our feet. Sweeping the arms up. Fold to the shins. Nice flat back. Hinge up, sweep the arms open. On an in-breath, we rise. On an out-breath, we fold. On the in-breath, we rise. On the out-breath, we fold. We're going to pause here. We're going to press the right knee forward and the left hip back. Any amount. Breathe. Hands are resting on the shins or on top, above the knees, on top of the thighs. And switch sides now. So we do this slow. This is a pedaling motion in slow motion. Switch sides again. One more time. Come back to center. Legs are straight, maybe a little micro bend in the knees. We're going to allow the hands to release toward the floor. And then we're going to sweep up. Press into the floor to do this. We're hinging. Nice, strong legs. Nice, flat back. Bringing the hands to heart center. Shake it out. And then our psoas stretch. So I highly recommend this be a daily practice if you have it in you. We're going to bring our hands to rest in our back pockets. We're going to press the pelvis forward. And then we're going to turn and look over the right shoulder, extending the left arm. Breathe here. And then we let that arm come back down. We come back to center. We pause in the center, press the pelvis forward. 3 breaths here. And now we're traveling to the other side. So the pelvis presses forward on the right side for most of us. And we're going to extend the same arm as the side of the pelvis that's pressing forward. So if your right side of your pelvis is forward, the right arm extends. 3 breaths here. And then we come back to center. 3 more breaths in the center. Shake it out. And let's return to our seated posture. So coming back into the chair, maybe nice and slowly lowering ourselves down. And we come back to our breath. This is our Shavasana, our resting posture. Creator, bless my eyes that I may see and love. Bless my lips that I may speak with love. Bless my ears that I may listen with love. Bless my heart that I may give and receive love. Bless my hands that all I touch feels love. Bless my feet that my walk upon the earth be a prayer. A poem by Teresa Alvarez. We open our arms wide and we sweep in and gather all the blessings that already exist, and we draw them in appreciation and gratitude into our hearts. And we pause here for 3 breaths. And then together, we all say, Namaste.